Hello everyone, welcome back. Previously we have discussed about Staph aureus, we have discussed about culture media, virulence factors, and now we will talk about illnesses. So there are certain illnesses which caused by certain kind of toxins. So it is called toxin mediated illnesses. It is three types. The first one is food poisoning. Second is toxic shock syndrome, which is also called TSS, and staphylococcal skin scarlet syndrome, also called as SSSS. So we will discuss about it. So first of all, food poisoning. Food poisoning caused by Staphylococcus aureus. All right, Staphylococcus aureus. So if we talk about incubation period, after eating it will appear its symptoms after 1 to 6 hours. So incubation period is 1 to 6 hours. So how can we differentiate, how can we make sure that it is caused by Staph aureus? So we can ask patient what they eaten. If they have eaten meat and milk products, so we can know that it is food poisoning caused by Staph aureus. So there is particular toxin which involved in this. It is called enterotoxin A, which is most common in food poisoning. So this was about food poisoning. Now we will talk about toxic shock syndrome. So toxic shock syndrome is caused by a specific toxin called as TSS toxins. It is also called as enterotoxin F. So enterotoxin F is TSS toxin. So how does it cause shock in the patient? So TSS toxin is a super antigen which activates 20% of the lymphocytes and which will cause massive lymphokine release. Alright, so it is super antigen, it will activate 20% of the lymphocytes and it will cause massive release of lymphokines, which will leads to shock. That's why it is called toxic shock syndrome. Alright, so it occurs due to contaminated vaginal tampons during menses. So if we use contaminated vaginal tampons, so it can cause toxic shock syndrome. Alright, so it was toxic shock syndrome. Now staphylococcal skin scarlet syndrome, also called as SSSS. So the specific toxin is exfoliative toxin A and B. So this causes SSSS. And in adults, if we talk about in adults, it is called as toxin epidermolytic necrolysis, or TAN. We can also call it TAN. And in the children, it is called as Ritter's disease. So this was about staphylococcal skin scarlet syndrome. So this three is toxin mediated diseases, illnesses which caused by Staph aureus. Alright, so it can also, there are other diseases which is not toxin mediated but it can occur due to Staph aureus. So cellulitis, impetigo, carbuncles, botryomycosis, it appears like it caused by a fungus, but there is name in this name there is mycosis, but it is caused by Staph aureus. We have to remember this very carefully. Alright, so and it can also cause acute osteomyelitis, it can also cause nave wall endocarditis, and if we talk about particularly IV drug abuser, it can cause right sided wall endocarditis. Alright, and it can also cause pneumococcal and community acquired, or we can call it pneumonia. It can also cause pneumonia. Alright, so this was about Staph aureus. We have completed all the things like illnesses, virulence factors, culture media. So this was all about Staph aureus. So guys, thank you for watching.